The poem Theme for English B discusses a student's assignment and interaction with his professor. It outlines the student's life and how he believes he is as much American as his teacher. During the time in which this poem was written, racism was still a very prevalent mindset. The Jim Crow laws were still enforced, and there was not very much civil liberty given to African Americans. The poem takes place in New York, which is relevant because of the Harlem Renaissance that took place a few decades earlier. A large amount of African Americans lived in the North to avoid the blatant racism that they received in the South, but they were still not treated fairly in the North. Some of these views are still present in today's society. While people today are much more supportive and accepting of Black people, there will always be those who retain the primitive mindset of racism. One of the most recent and prevalent examples of this is the murder of George Floyd in Minneapolis. This was the unjust killing of a Black man for a petty crime by a police officer, exemplifying the corrupt mindset of those who are supposed to protect the country. While racism in the 1950s was much more common, it is still shown today in our country in the worst of ways. The speaker in the poem believes that just because he is a Black man does not mean he is not an American and deserves to be equal to his professor. This should be the reality in the modern world, but unfortunately it has not been fully reached yet. Thank you.